there were little rods that people
Use.
do that. It's like a tuning fork, and you ding it, and it gives you a vibrating sensation.
You've changed, Josh. You've changed.
Not me!
It's time for either or.
So like, you take it and then you just go like this.
Ding! Yeah.
Fail to find the humor.
$1 million, but when you climax,
Oh god.
Whoa.
I can't believe we're taking it to this level.
you barf in your mouth.
Yeah, I probably would.
I probably
All right,
would.
ladies, be warned. Brett may puke on you.
He's not getting this offer right now. This is a scenario.
No, this is based on things that will never happen, right?
All right,
Or-
let's
okay.
do it right now.
What?
Let's use this scenario.
Go ahead.
Let's do it right
Have
now.
a
Portable system. Battery consumption is definitely
It's not
something
a
you have to
portable
address.
system.
It
It's
is a portable
it's
system.
It's a console hybrid, okay?
It's portable.
A portable system is a PSP. You're meant to take it with you when you need to take a shit. That's about it.
No, that's not about it. People
Where else you gonna
travel
go with
with
it?
it on the airplane.
Oh, and how long's a fucking airplane ride? They got an outlet
well,
on
I
an
don't know.
airplane?
You're going to Indiana to LA. How long is it, Josh and Alex?
6
4
hours.
hours.
4 to 6 hours.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Look at that Switch battery lasting almost 6 hours.
Oh,
What do
if
you
it's
know?
charged when you go.
Well, who's going to leave with it half dead?
Well, I don't know. Somebody who
Irresponsible
forgets to
people.
charge it.
Well, then don't fucking forget. I don't like the big, thick ones like that
The
because they...
reason for this is so I can carry everything with it. Right there, it holds my Joy-Con covers, and it holds my games inside of these slots here.
Where's your charger go?
You don't need a charger; it's portable.
I just got a Charlie horse in my thigh.
Oh shoot! You okay?
You're gonna fart or
Do
something.
you need something?
Hey, where's your Charlie
Just give me
horse?
time. It's on the bottom of this thigh.
Hey, you can do this. Put your foot out. Put your
I
foot
can't.
Out. Do it.
No.
Put your
Oh shoot!
Put it out. Now flex your foot up, like your toes towards the ceiling. It looks like you're trying to take a shit.
What do you need to
Well, I
do?
don't want it to look like
What do you
that.
want to do?
I'm trying to put my foot over there.
Give me your
Help me. My back's to the camera.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're okay.
You're okay.
ridiculous.
You're okay. You're
Let's do some
Doing some friggin' Christmas trivia. Welcome back to the PTOUnlimited podcast. My name is Brett.
I'm Josh.
Alex.
This is episode 167. 167.
And F this heat.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a hot one.
Oh my goodness, so hot. And it was like 93 all like the whole weekend. It's gonna be in the 90s all week. It's just
Yeah, I'm worried
insanely
about my
hot.
next power bill.
Oh, with your AC?
Yeah,
Ooh.
We're on a thingy.
it's good.
Whatever it's called, a budget thing.
I should look
plan.
into that.
budget
Yeah.
plan.
A budget plan, so we pay the same amount every month.
Yeah.
So especially so when we get into like the fall and we don't use anything, it just kind of levels itself out, and then we
Yep.
don't pay any extra.
That's smart.
So ever since the podcast last week, Alex and I have had a rough week and weekend. It just kept escalating, getting worse and worse as the week progressed. And I'm sure, like, all of our
I'm
problems
sorry,
were.
by the way. I was a real bitch to you this weekend.
Wow, I didn't expect you to say that.
Why?
I'm expecting you to say the same
why
thing
were
back.
you
I was
that
a real
way?
asshole this weekend.
I was
I'm
gonna
sorry.
say you were a real bitch to me this weekend.
Why were you that way?
We
we
were
just,
at each other's throats for a little bit.
It was just everything was so bad this last week, like so much tension that we just didn't have anywhere else to let it go. So we were just taking it
Yelling
out
at
on
each
each other. Well, I didn't say we were yelling. It's just bad juju. Bad juju.
Bad
It was just we would have fun, and then there'd just be way too there's just tension,
Yeah.
and we got it all out of our system.
just a rough weekend.
Yeah.
The heat didn't help, and
No.
on Saturday, Alex and I were moving 50-pound bricks to help Alex's grandmother remove the tarp from on top of her in-ground pool,
Oh yeah.
and I dropped one on my toe.
Right after I said, "Don't hurt your back."
Yep.
So he dropped one on his toe instead.
And luckily, nothing broke or anything. Everything's good.
You were wearing shoes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Luckily, he was wearing shoes.
Not flip flops like I normally do in the summer days. And did you hear about down in Mexico? They had hail over the weekend.
Did you know a couple weeks ago in Colorado, they got like a blizzard?
No, I'm talking like hail.
Holy shit!
Like covered.
Like-
Guadalajara got covered in hail.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm showing Alex
It
and
looks
Brett
like
a photo.
snow.
Yes.
But it's like, it's bad.
Yeah.
Like super bad. Like going over cars. Like
Yes.
at least a couple feet of hail.
1.5 meters thick.
I don't know
Wow.
how many feet that is, but
It doesn't matter either way.
Okay.
It covered parts of the city were just buried by the hailstorm that happened, and it was rough.
That's pretty crazy.
It's insane. The weather is insane this year, and I don't know what to think of it.
that's four almost 5 feet of snow or of hail.
Wow.
Almost 5 feet. Of
I didn't
hail.
see any shattered windshields though. That's the weird thing. Maybe it just was a lot of small hail. I don't know, but either way, holy cow! Sorry about that. Brett, how was your week and weekend? Anything you got to talk about?
Not really. My week was busy. We had inventory, which is an annual thing in the retail world, and I just worked like a dog leading up to the day of, and basically took half a day off on Friday then, and had the weekend off, so I recovered.
Oh, is that why you messaged us Friday? You're like, hey, let's do it. Let's get on gears. I'm gonna sneeze.
I don't.
Sorry.
Oh, I mean not directly, but I
Allergies.
just thought I haven't played anything all week. I want to play something. We haven't played Gears in like a month, so I thought
It was
a good time.
nice. It was very nice.
Hey, we did it. Just the three of us.
We did. All three of us got wave 1 through 50 on our own. It was.
There were some words said
We
about
weren't-
like what level was it?
We weren't very nice to each other about it.
I don't
We were-
remember us not.
We were all yelling at each other
I know,
for
but
doing stupid things.
I know, but I told you like tension was high this weekend.
Yeah. No, but I was bad at it. So I was, tired, so I had a short fuse too. But
That's okay.
when you're doing it with 3 people instead of 4 or 5, the margin for error is much lower.
Yes.
So you
very
can't
much
do
so.
the stupid stuff, and yet we still did. And
I don't think that we were. I don't remember words being said to each other.
Okay, no,
I just
it
remember
was
words
no.
being
What
said.
wave was it, Brett?
It was like
Like
37 or
38?
something.
It was like
Yeah?
38. It was like we're not gonna be able to complete 50, and then we get to like wave 50, and I feel like that was one of the easiest waves.
I think
50 was pretty fun.
from 40 to 50, we might have failed once or twice.
Yeah, but for some reason at 30 to 40 range,
Wave 38, for some reason we could not get,
We failed like 3 times.
at least.
It was rough, and we were just cussing at each other and being all angry about it. But it's
But-
not a big deal.
So
We did it.
I was a heavy, which you start with a retro lancer and a boom shot.
Hmm.
The problem with that when you go the distance is that a retro lancer does not have, it's very powerful, but it does not have a lot of ammo.
Is it? It's also not long range, is it?
No, because it's got a lot more recoil than the regular
I thought it
lancer.
kicked a lot,
so
yeah.
you gotta be pretty close range.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get to the higher waves, it just doesn't do the
It
damage.
doesn't.
And so I would run out of ammo every
don't
wave.
you have a secondary weapon that you love that you use? Like I have the M bar that I pick up.
I usually stick to whatever the default loadout is.
Hmm. I usually get the what's that gun called again?
The Bulldog.
No, I don't do
no,
that.
he got the what does
the
it say?
overkill.
The overkill. That is my
Yeah.
favorite gun. I can kill pouncers with that. This is Gears of War chat, it's just the best
No.
ever.
What's
I
nice
love
is
Gears
like
of
I
War.
can take out a Guardian or a Sentinel with an M bar in like 4 shots.
You
That's
love
it.
your
That's good.
headshots too.
It makes me ready for Gears 5, but also it makes me want to play Gears 3 Horde. 'Cause
Gears 3 we can
I
go
like
back
Gears
to
3.
sometime.
I even though I'm Gears 4 Horde is growing on me every time we play it,
Mhm.
I still think Gears 3 Horde is my favorite.
I'd have to go back to it to like
Yeah.
remember the difference.
I'm gonna
like,
have to flip on that. The
Yeah.
reason why I like 4 is because you can put anything anywhere. That's the main thing I like about 4.
Oh, the
Oh,
fortification.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do like that.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah, that's
even
a good
use the
point.
fortifications.
Not all the time, but we had to with us 3.
Dude,
Yeah.
we got down. We got up to like 100 grand, and at like wave 50, we had what 6 grand left.
Well, the
Yeah, it was
problem
bad.
actually this is a problem in 3 and 4 is that it costs so much to seem like it does very little.
It
Right,
does.
it
Like
does.
you upgrade everything 100% to just in one wave have it destroyed.
Exactly.
There's all that money that goes down the drain because isn't it like half is what you pick up on the field if it breaks?
I think so.
That's just a
Now
whole
again,
thing.
we also were not playing with an engineer who can repair the stuff.
I'm gonna be an engineer next time because I think level 10 is your max, and my soldier's
Yeah.
maxed.
Well,
so.
and I think I told you this that night. You can't have a pistol when you're an engineer because
That's
it's
okay.
you use your pistol slot is the tool that fixes stuff.
I don't use the pistol very often. I'm more overkill and land.
I had to use it a lot because I ran out of ammo so damn
Towards
much.
the end, yes. we
But the
did.
heavy does start with the Boltok, which is awesome.
I like the bolt.
I remember yelling at you. I was like, Brett, what the hell are you doing? You're like, I had to get ammo.
I did.
What? And then he died.
I did. I
Right,
went
yeah.
out and I think we ended up failing.
Oh my
Yeah, because
We
we were
were-
both
we were
down. And you're like, Brett,
close.
what the fuck are you doing? You're just like,
And
I have to get
I
ammo.
was completely dry. And then I just got tired of having to go get ammo, so I just picked up hammer burst, whatever was on the field.
Oh,
I
I guess.
just picked it up.
Question:
Right.
If you're completely dry of ammo and you have a lancer, can you still use the lancer?
You can still use a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never tried that.
Well, it's not like it's gonna give you like a big leg up in the higher
Well, again,
40s.
you can't chainsaw a scion. And
No.
You can't chainsaw a pouncer.
Right.
You know, so depending on what you're going against.
Yeah. Let's move on from that, guys.
Anywho.
I loved it. It was great. I think we'll have to do it again sometime.
I agree.
Yeah, but
It would be more fun if we had a fourth and possibly a fifth,
Fifth.
but Patrick was unavailable, so
That's
we just
okay.
had to deal with that.
Yeah, and Rick didn't join us.
Right? Rick was like us. He was worn out from work as well, so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it just happens.
Right. So let's talk about American History X and
Ooh.
the movie club. Here
Yeah.
we go.
So, what movie club are you talking about?
The PTO Unlimited Movie Club. So we started this last week where we, and if you guys have any recommendations of movies that we need to see, of course, always message us on any of our social media apps or personal if you are close friends with us.
Did we also mention like if they want to join in, we'll announce a movie. This
Yeah,
week.
we're gonna announce this week what we're gonna talk about next week.
Yes, so that way they can join in.
If you want to watch the movie and join in with the conversation on our YouTube channel, that's great. So what we're going to talk about right now, and I'm going to say probably spoiler chat for American History
I mean,
X.
it's a 1998, right?
Yeah, came out the year
so
before Fight Club.
I think we could talk about it.
Yeah, right. So let's dive into it. Where do you want to
I
start?
wanna know-
I want to start.
Wait. I want to guess. This is what I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess that Josh didn't like it and you did like it.
No, I
No.
liked it.
Is it
She liked
inverted?
it too.
You both liked it?
But I'm going to explain it.
And then we're going to explain why we liked it too.
But here's
Okay.
here's the deal. I wanted to start off by asking you, why do you like this movie so much? Like, why is this like this is a great movie? You have to watch it. Like, why?
I think, first of all, Edward Norton did an amazing job in this
Yeah.
movie.
takes a lot.
And I think why I liked it so much is because it's a story about this guy who was so convicted to his beliefs or so believed in something so much that he followed it to a very emotional place where it basically ruined his life. And at the end of the movie, it killed his brother.
Yes.
Mhm.
It
I mean,
did.
it didn't directly, but the
What he
events
built
leading
would.
up to it,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it destroys his entire family. Now, you could argue that his dad dying is, and they kind of alluded to the fact that his dad dying
That's
is what
where it
started it all.
Right.
But
Or not before his dad died, but that scene with his dad at the
In the-
dinner
at
table.
the dinner
telling him to
table.
question
Yes,
everything.
question everything, and he basically, well, I'm not going to say the N word, but he called it N-word bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Mm.
what this principal at the school is having. He was doing a Black literature
Yeah.
reading program
Right.
with his high school kids, and his dad did not like that.
Mhm.
So anyway, to go more specific, that's why I think it's great.
The
Okay.
transitioning of Edward Norton's character is so amazing.
Mhm.
I just want to say, whoa! This was a roller coaster of a film. Like I was glued most of the time. Like, I
Josh's
don't.
face color changed
Yeah.
throughout the movie. Like he would be white, and then during the black and white part that everybody talks about with the curb stomp, Josh was like, I didn't watch it.
She didn't.
Josh was like, "Don't watch it." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not going to."
Yeah.
You don't
So,
see it.
I know, but
you see
he's like a silhouette of it. But even Josh had his like he like threw his hands up and his knees in his face and was like, "Oh my god!" And
Yeah.
his face just like went beet red.
It was nuts. It was nuts.
And I was like, "Oh, I don't want to watch it."
And it's so difficult to pull off this level of racism on film, like without, I don't know, coming off, the worst person in the world. Edward Norton did an amazing job doing what he could with the tools he had with this film. His transition, learning from his mistakes, is very interesting. And of course, everyone's going to say, like, you learn not to judge books by covers. That's the main tale.
He made a friend in prison, a black guy, and basically once he kind of turned away from the white supremacy, he was going to be killed by somebody. But this friend kind of put the word out and said, just leave him alone.
Lamont is his
Lamont, yep.
name.
Lamont.
And he was a treasure on screen. I loved every
was
single
funny.
scene. Yeah, he was funny. He was direct. He understood the broken system. He was just biding his time to get back out. I think that, and that actor, Guy Torrey, that's the actual actor's name. I haven't seen him in much.
Who does he play?
Lamont.
Oh, that's him. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know him from. I can't recall him from anything else either.
I needed the monologues, especially to understand like more and more of what's going on with.
You're talking about the black and white, like the throwbacks.
No, the monologues, the over voice.
They're talking like okay, like he's
Why
telling
can't I
the
think of his
story.
name?
Danny
Danny.
is basically writing a paper that's narrating the
The
story.
movie, yeah.
What was his name? What's his actual name?
Edward Furlong.
Edward Furlong. Yeah, and that made me like look up all of his stuff. I'm like, man, that actor went down.
He's a little crazy now.
Yeah, little side note with this. When he started Terminator 2, there was a woman that was his assistant or something who's like, he was 15, she was 35. They started a relationship in the 90s, 92.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he did much acting after American History X.
I just want to say the scene where at the dinner table with the boyfriend,
Yeah,
dad,
Elliot Gould.
like where he like just loses it. Like
It gets intense.
it was so intense to watch that, but at the same time, like you finish the scene and you're like, that was acting.
Yeah.
Like it gives me chills to think about. I'm like, wow,
I wonder how
that
many-
was like real.
that it's possible, and again, this just from I have no knowledge of this, but it wouldn't surprise me if a scene like that took all day to shoot.
Well, and
Right.
it's I compare that with a scene that you can't believe that it like wow you forget that it's a movie, and that's when we watched Django Unchained. And that's that scene that's very popular that Leonardo DiCaprio gets very into his character so much that he slams his hand down accidentally on some glass, shatters the glass into his hand, and then just stays in character for another probably 30 to 60 seconds and smears his blood all over the girl's face. But it just goes with it. And it's so intense. And you can see him like holding his hand, but he's in his moment and they kept it in the film. Like it's like that same bit of energy where you forget it's a movie.
You do.
Like, this is intense.
The music did it for me. Every black and white scene was gripping. It was great storytelling. Some shots were boring though. Like I get it. The beach is beautiful. Seriously.
I got done with the movie and I want to say yes, I liked the movie, but it's very difficult. And I was telling Josh this last night because we discussed it a little bit. It's very difficult to say, hey, I'm white and I like that movie. Like it makes you feel wrong, but it's like I like that movie for a good reason, to show the beginning part of it to the end of it. And I told Josh like in the middle of it, I'm like, why the fuck am I watching this? This is such a disgusting movie. Like it's just hard. It's hard to watch. And at the end, we're discussing. I'm like, you know what? That feeling's a good feeling. It's not a bad feeling. It's a good. It means that
they did the job.
No, but it also means like. I'm against racism.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
Like it's so incredibly stupid that, if aliens come down to this planet and they're like, you have so much bigger shit to fight about and you're going to judge each other about the color of your skin? Like it's that crazy.
It is.
So,
agree.
but I think overall, yeah, it was a really good movie.
Mhm.
Well, am I gonna sit down and watch it again?
I'll never watch it
I
again.
don't know if I'll watch it again. I think it's just one of those to show racism to younger people, like a younger generation. Just hey, this is
Sure.
it. This is what it was like.
Yeah.
Yep.
But growing up in elementary school, I was telling Josh my best friends were colored.
Yeah, my oldest friend
like-
is Korean.
So it's just
I'm
our generation
pretty
didn't
sure.
have to deal with that. Like that's
pretty
just
certain
not
he
what
is.
the way it was back then, and it's so weird to look at it and go, "Wow, this is just sick to know that there's people out there that are like that."
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. I will say that the racism was very palpable.
Very.
The curb stomp was the worst I've
Oh.
ever seen on film. As far as like intensity goes, I jumped out of my seat when it happened. I knew it
Yeah,
was gonna happen.
I know.
I've never seen the scene. I've had it
Mm-mm.
described to me many times.
Nope.
But as soon as it happened, I wasn't expecting that type of like push, like punch in the face, like holy cow! Like Edward Norton's character was a hateful son of a bee. Like
yeah,
he
was.
he really did it for me. Like his acting,
I'm gonna say though the ending is a little predictable. Josh and I called it. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, it's either he's gonna die or he's gonna die. And I'm like,
Either
no,
one.
it's probably gonna be he's gonna die.
Yep. And at first, I did not like how open ended the ending was. Like,
Yeah, Josh, it ended and he goes, it's going to end right there? Really? And I'm like, oh, come on. Don't be Mr. 2019. I need an explanation for everything movie. This is a lesson movie.
Well, you can see in the shooter's eyes, he realized
What he did.
after he did it.
Yep.
oh, I didn't like really take
No,
that
you
to an
just,
account.
yeah, you have to like look at his face and he's like, I can't believe I actually just did that.
Uh-huh.
Like, it was a hate crime.
Yes, it was. Yep.
And you realize, wow, this was really like not necessarily stupid, but like you could see like, wow, I just fucked up.
Yeah, and I was like pointing out characters throughout the entire movie, like Stacy Keach, and the dad was actually the dad from Boy Meets World.
William
and-
Russ.
Yep, William Russ. Yep. And I was like pointing out the chick is from Waterboy. I don't remember her name.
Oh, Fairuza Balk.
Vicky Valancourt.
How the hell do you know? She's in like 2 movies.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how Brett.
American History X and Waterboy. That's
Yeah.
it. That's
I
all
know.
she's in. How do you know that?
Well, mainly because I think an article popped up on Facebook or has every now and then of, hey, she was in these 2 pretty popular movies and she has never been heard of again. And
That's the 2
Oh,
movies.
that's
just
the
said.
2 movies.
that's what I mean. That's those 2 movies. People,
And they were
especially-
completely different from each other.
especially Waterboy, you know. But
My
I just
gosh.
cause it's a very unique name.
Yeah. You pulled that out of your
Who's
butt.
the
I
big
swear.
guy?
Who's the big-
Ethan
Ethan
Suplee.
Suplee.
Oh my gosh, Josh showed me a picture of
He-
him recently. He's lost 200 pounds.
Well, you know, he's on the ranch. He's the
Yeah.
deputy friend.
He's a cop.
But he is deplorable in that movie.
He is so.
He's
Ooh.
just
He's
just
something
the
else.
worst.
He's a guy that you don't want to have in your
He's
house.
the,
No.
the friend that you never want to come over.
Yes, the friend.
It's
quote
like you can't
unquote.
get rid of him.
It's like, okay, oh shit, he showed up. Don't
Well, it's
want
funny
him.
that the Davina tried to shut the door when he showed up.
He's like, let me in.
Yeah.
Is that a way to treat a friend of the family? It's like, man, holy cow! I think that it was a great movie. I'm gonna give it a pretty high score, like an 8.5, like out of 10. Like that's what I'm gonna give it. Like it was a good film, taught you a lot about what people actually believe, and it kind of gives that notion of don't judge books by covers. Actually, get to know people. He got to know his I don't want to say cellmate, his prison buddy, his work buddy in prison, and his buddy saved him. And the rape scene in the shower,
That was
It was
intense.
bad.
that was really bad. Like it was. I mean, I'm sure we've really like chucked. You haven't said much else about like what you thought of the film entirely. Like,
It's difficult to watch, but I would suggest if you haven't watched it, you should watch it.
yeah, it's not on any streaming service.
Nope.
No, it's not.
That was very unfortunate.
I own it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so
I-
we want to move on from American History X, or do you got anything else?
No, everything you've said I agree with, so I really have nothing to add.
It's a great film.
Than, I just remember the first time I watched it, because I watched it on a recommendation. I think it was one of those that it blew my mind. It fascinated me, so
Mhm.
that's why it's always just stuck with me.
Okay.
And I can watch it multiple times. Like that. Some movies I can't. This one I can't.
I wonder how.
It's just difficult.
Yeah.
It's definitely difficult to watch. It's just you're tense the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is wrong the whole
It's
time.
very intense. It's an intense movie.
All right, Alex. What's your suggestion?
Oh, it's my turn?
It's your turn.
Well, it has to be something that either we don't remember very well or one of us at least has never seen.
Are we gonna have time this week?
Yeah.
We're gonna be gone all weekend.
What are you doing Sunday?
I can bring the movie to the hotel.
Well,
We're gonna be
probably
dead.
pass out. We'll try. I mean, we got Wednesday still and Friday.
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
We
It's
got
Monday.
We'll announce it, and if we get to it, cool. And if not, we can.
So and
carry
I have one in my head right now.
Go on.
And I'm gonna make it a girly movie.
Great.
But it's a classic.
Okay.
I
What
want
is
to.
it?
Have you seen The Princess Bride?
Oh, man.
Yay! We're gonna watch The
I do
Princess
not
Bride.
wanna watch
No,
that.
yes, you do. Everybody, I've got at least 5 people right now on YouTube. I need comments saying help Brett out here. This is an amazing movie.
Andre the Giant, Carrie Elwes, can't go wrong.
It's amazing.
You think it is because you how old were you the first time you saw it?
I was probably really young because it came out before I was born.
That's what I'm saying.
I was about 17.
But don't look at it as like cheap effects and all. Like it's just a really good. It's a really good movie.
Fred Savage is in it too.
Yeah, Fred Savage is in it.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Yeah.
There's so many quotable lines from the movie too. It's enjoyable. It is not stupid.
Okay.
I've never heard anybody in my life in 30 years say Princess Bride. Oh, that's a stupid movie.
No,
Never. Oh, I love that movie. That's all I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Okay.
not suggest it if it wasn't bad, or if it was bad.
Yes, but that's subjective.
Everybody's
We've
opinion
got
is
people
subjective.
saying everybody's saying
That's what I
help Brett
mean.
out.
we said okay to American history.
I
X.
know, but you're right. But I didn't know if you would like it or not. I think it's a good movie, and I think you should watch it because I think it's a good movie. But that doesn't mean you automatically are going to think it's a good movie, and you shouldn't
No.
approach these movies
Does
with
that make
"You're going to love this movie."
does that make Alex's opinion less valid than yours?
No, but I'm just saying, don't tell me that I'm going to love it because you love it.
Okay. I'm
And don't
already
pick
excited.
the movies because you. Well, no, not because I did that.
Yeah, you did that. We picked the movies based off of I like it, and I'm suggesting that you watch it, and whoever else is going to be a part of this PTO Unlimited podcast movie club, you watch it as well. If you've not seen it, you can participate next Monday on YouTube in the conversation. Yes, everybody's talking.
What? I can't see.
I know, but the chat's kind of lit up with
They're like-
quotes from the
they're like,
movie
it's so
already.
quotable.
They're quoting the movie already.
Anybody want a peanut?
Anybody want a peanut? Okay.
I've seen it. I don't remember it. I've seen it once, so I could definitely watch it and get refreshed. I saw. Now, the reason I'm certain Alex is bringing this up is because I saw like a little a meme of Princess Bride. Like there were some quotes, and I was like, "Is this from this movie? I've only seen this movie once." And she looked at me like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, if that's Carrie Elwes, then holy cow, he was
He is a
pretty-
good-looking guy.
in that film. He was pretty ship shape. I'll say he was very charming man."
Oh, he says he's very charming
Just
looking.
get out of here.
Okay, anyways, let's move on.
Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Brett, did you want to talk about Toy Story 2 at all? Because you got reintroduced to that this week. And there's not really much to.
No,
No.
I could not remember how it ended, but it's fine.
So Alex and I watched the entire trilogy, and then we went and saw the fourth one. And I gotta say, it was not easy sitting down and being okay with it at first, and it was not. It's not a necessity to see this film if you don't want to. It is more side tale. More.
You know what? Thank you for saying that. That's what I would put it as.
Mhm.
It's a side. It's more of a side story than it is a main story. So it's like, you know, you got the Marvel universe and you got the Avengers movie, but then you have like the Chronicles of this. It's kind of like that.
Yeah. It kind of gives you a generation gap feeling where there's youth in this film and there's older toys in this film, and the way that they're clashing with each other and how they're not working together for a common goal. They're kind of just meshed. And I don't know. It's like I feel like introducing some of these new characters were it was very. Some I like, some I don't. Ducky and Bunny, I don't like them.
No,
Key and Peele's characters, I didn't care for.
I'm complete opposite. I thought they were amazing.
They had some comedy that gave me a chuckle, but I guess I'm gonna feel a little more throwaway on that. Forky, he sold the film.
I thought for sure when we saw the trailer, which I didn't watch many trailers for Toy Story 4. I thought for sure when I saw it, and then you see this spork, and they're introducing a new character, and I'm like, that's like the least. Like not the least. That's like the one thing I didn't want. I didn't want a new character.
Mm-hmm.
And he sold the movie. Like, he made the movie. If there was not Forky in this, it would not be a good movie.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yep. And I think Pixar pulled off a perfect quadrilogy. Everything was done very well.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, a lot of this movie took inspiration from some of Alfred Hitchcock's films, which you can see it in the antique shop.
Yeah, you see it there.
Without going too into depth of a lot of stuff here, I just want to say that it's a great film. Go see it if you want to. It's not a necessity. You can kind of hold off on it if you want to. But 3 felt pretty final, but that was more Woody and Andy's story. This one's more just Woody's story. But I think that I could say a lot more. I mean, what do you want to push into?
I don't really want to say much about it other than I liked it. I'm not raving as much as I wanted or I thought I would be about it. It's a good movie. I give it probably an 8.
Wow, that's pretty low.
Yeah, well, it's not. It wasn't like, oh my god, I shed 2 tears at the end, just because of the way it ended. But honestly, 3 is still my final movie. Like, that's how I feel. It's still, I would have liked it to be cut off there. I liked the side story, but it wasn't enough.
I'm gonna say a couple other things. Mr. Potato Head's involvement was very limited due to Don Rickles' death in 2017,
which they do.
They do mention that in the credits. There is a in memory, and also I want to discuss a little bit about Bo just in a little tiny bit. It's this is going to have a lot about her, and I understand that there's a lot of gender balance that they want to do now in these films, but I'm going to say that Bo did not feel like Bo.
Nope, I wanted to say the exact same thing. I was telling people at work that, and I was like, you see Bo in 1 and 2, and she's just like this gentle, like loving and very sweet girl that Woody obviously loves, and then she just disappears in 3, and you don't know why. There's just a short thing that just goes, yeah, we lost a lot of toys on the way, and someone says, even Bo, and it's like, yeah, Bo's gone. Well, and then you get to see Bo again. I mean, you all know it. It's not a spoiler. It's in the trailers.
Right.
And she is not Bo.
And I understand they want to transition her character into an accepting transition where she accepted her fate.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like her.
No.
They could have done
it felt
something
like a new
different.
toy.
Yeah, it didn't feel like.
Yeah, that was the
Bo.
one thing I didn't like about that was throwaway was Bo's character.
And I will say, Brett, when you watch 3, the villain of 3 is the best villain of Toy Story.
The best villain.
Best villain ever. Best villain of all of them. I mean, you got Sid in 1. Stinky.
Al.
Well, I was going to say Stinky Pete.
Stinky Pete is really...
Al's pretty villainous,
they're
too.
both.
Yeah. And then this one, I'm not going to spoil it because it's good.
I still think 3 is probably my favorite.
Yes, I will definitely agree. One last thing I want to say on Toy Story, then I'll say my score. I wish that they would have roughed up the older toys a little bit more. Like Woody looks like a brand new, fresh, clean toy. Yep. And there's
no freaking way he's made it through almost 30 years or 20-some years and made mid-condition.
He's from the 50s.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he
mentions
made it in the 50s.
that.
That's
he
right,
finally gives a year of when he was made. And you get an idea of like, wow, he actually has some knowledge of how long he's been around.
Yep.
But he doesn't talk about his previous owner before Andy, which is
that's weird.
That's kind of a plot hole. But I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it a 9. It was a very enjoyable film. I think that.
How long was it?
It was about 2 hours.
A couple hours.
Yeah. Almost 2 hours. Yeah. A little bit of it was a little filler in the middle. It felt like with a lot of going back and forth between these 2 scenes of the antique store and the RV and stuff. It just, there was some stuff that didn't need to be in there. But great film. Go see it if you'd like. 3 is a good final one, but 4 is a side story if you want just a little bit more Toy Story. I won't say that this is an awful film, and I won't say that this is not a film. And I think Pixar can't go any farther.
Okay. Yes, they definitely can. If they do,
Yeah.
I'm not watching Toy Story 5.
Right.
Foot down, not doing it. Okay.
What do you guys want to move on to next? Brett, you have some topics here. Why don't you pick one out?
I
if
want
you'd
to
like.
hear what's going on with Batman.
He's getting a star on the Walk of Fame.
Oh,
No,
yeah, I heard
really?
about
All right.
this.
It's a long time coming.
It is.
I figured he already did.
Well, I didn't know they gave fictional characters stars.
Snoopy's
Yep,
on there.
mhm.
I know that for sure.
Uh.
I mean, if you can say Vince McMahon's a fictional character, in a sense, his character's fictional, but the person's not. But there was an actual poll that was going out, like, what do you think who should be the next superhero on the Walk of Fame? And that's actually a pretty good discussion we
Who's
might be able
the-
to have.
I don't even know who's on the Walk
Yeah.
of Fame already.
I think Batman's the first superhero. So
Oh.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna pick one, I think he's got to be the one.
I'm gonna look up what fictional characters.
Or Spider-Man's got to be one. I mean, if you think about just who leads in the number of cinema appearances, it's gonna
Probably
have
Batman and
Batman
Spider-Man.
and Spider-Man, yeah.
there are 17 fictional characters according to.
On the walk already?
Yeah. Yep. Mickey Mouse is one.
Okay, I can see that.
Here we go. Fictional characters. Alvin and the Chipmunks, Big Bird, Bugs Bunny, Donald Duck, Godzilla, Kermit the Frog, Minnie Mouse, the Munchkins, the Muppets, Rugrats, Shrek. Really? Wow. The Simpsons, Snoopy, Snow White, Tinkerbell, Winnie the Pooh, and Woody Woodpecker. So no superheroes.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Um,
That's a good list.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Superman should probably be up there.
People hate Superman though.
I know they do.
So,
It'll be a while till Superman gets
Yeah.
his star.
But he's the longest running, isn't he? Like him and Batman are the longest running superheroes.
as
People are
far-
saying Tony Stark.
Really?
So
Iron Man?
Iron Man.
No.
Well, he.
Yeah, but that he didn't come along until 2008. You know, Batman came along.
That's true.
Way before.
Well,
that,
yes, of course.
I'm saying
as far
Spider-Man.
as movies go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And again,
Spider-Man
I
needs
guess
one.
if you said Spider-Man, you could. He didn't come along until what? 01?
You don't have to say film though. You could just go off of
If
fictional
you're talking about
comic characters.
Hollywood, the Hollywood Walk of Fame that
You're right.
that suggests movies.
Batman's been around many
long time.
decades.
Yes, I mean there were the black and white movies, then you had the Adam West Batman. So
Mm-hmm. So I'd say definitely either. Well, Superman's been around longer than Batman or than
what
in
was
film.
it? 78.
Mm-hmm.
Look
Batman.
that up. The Christopher Reeves Superman.
Let's just see. I've never seen that movie. Have you?
I don't think I have.
No. Superman.
Oh, I have.
What year did you say?
I said 78.
Are you serious, John? Right? Really? You've never seen it? You knew it came out in 78? My God, he needs to be on Jeopardy.
How do you know this?
I really don't know how I knew that one. I don't even remember seeing that anywhere. That was like
God.
straight up.
What
I'm
in
pretty-
the
I'm
F?
pretty sure
This
it was
movie-
the 70s.
This movie made its debut in 1978. So ding.
What is
Superman.
Superman. Or, yeah, movie. What is Superman?
Okay, actually, hold on.
Mm-mm.
Batman the movie came out first in '66.
Right.
Oh,
The Adam
okay.
West.
Yep. So Superman has to be next then, or Spider-Man. Those would be the big ones. I can't believe you knew that. How? Where'd you learn that?
I don't know.
It's just like the head cheese thing with the trivia. I don't even
That's
get
the
it.
best one.
I know.
Did you hear about? You have anything else you want to touch on the
No.
Walk of Fame?
No.
Did you hear about the Fast and the Furious and Dave Bautista call out?
No.
No.
Someone tweeted at Dave Bautista that they want him in the next Fast and Furious or in one eventually to go against John Cena and The Rock.
Okay.
Dave Bautista said he'd rather be in good films
Oh my
Oh.
God! Really?
with a vomit
Why?
face.
because he's
Why?
in the Avengers.
He's
Is
got
it-
some cojones,
I
man.
As an actor, you probably shouldn't insult.
You shouldn't insult
Studios,
a
I mean-
billion-dollar franchise,
Sure.
even though you're working for one already.
Yeah.
You know what they're gonna
he
do?
is.
Put him in one of the Fast and Furious.
No, he can say no.
I
Say
Um,
no.
I hope he was like. I hope it was just like a joke.
Well, the thing is, someone else tweeted at him as well, and he said, "Well, I respect your opinion, but I don't like the films."
Well,
Yeah.
So
if he wants to be that choosy.
I don't care for them as much. I'm not gonna say they're terrible, but I'm not gonna go out of
I
my
like them
way.
because they're cardboard.
Well, he's in that.
They are cardboard.
He's in that Stuber movie right now, which I have not seen a review score on.
Stuber.
What?
Yeah,
That's the
Stuber,
one
it's with I can't say his name.
I can't either.
The guy from Silicon Valley.
Yes. You like him.
Oh, the comedian guy that
Yeah.
I like? Yeah, I don't know what his name is.
What was the name of the film again? Stuber?
Stuber.
Oh, my. Let's look at what Metacritic's giving it. Ooh, it's 57% on Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb is 6.1 out of 10. That's actually not bad for a comedy. So,
What's the guy's name?
Nigel. Right? That's his first name, right?
no, it's... Oh, my. I'm
on,
very
go.
sorry. Kumail?
Kumail.
Cameo?
Nanjiani.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
He was on the E3 live episode of Podcast Unlocked
Oh, really?
with
He's
the
a funny
Xbox
guy.
people. He is
I like
funny.
him.
Yeah,
like
I
him.
actually like his stand-up. He's very... he's actually not as filthy of a comic as, you'd expect.
No, he's
from
just
this
funny.
guy on Silicon Valley.
No, he's just funny.
Well, he's in that Amazon show The Big Sick too, I believe,
Mm.
which I have not watched. But Dave Bautista also said that he wants to be in a Gears movie.
He could
which-
do it.
Okay, that I can see just because he looks like one of the characters. I don't know his name.
He could either be Dom or Marcus.
I agree.
Who's the big guy?
Well,
Well, they're both big. They're all
they're
big.
all big.
I know, but who's the big guy? And he's got dark hair, and he's like in the front of like Gears 3, I think.
Marcus Phoenix.
He's in front of all.
Oh my god!
Not the first three.
He's the cover. He's the cover.
He's in at
character.
least three of them, Alex.
I play Horde, not anything else. Okay?
Well, he's in Horde.
Well, the
He could play that guy.
Dom
man.
is Hispanic, so I don't think he could play Dom too well. I mean, if you wanted to stick to that,
Dave Bautista's
He's
Hispanic.
got
Is
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
he doesn't look it.
Really?
I'm pretty sure he's Hispanic.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain. I watched his interview on. I'm gonna look up his nationality. I don't want to sound like an asshole. Well, he says he's American. Of course he's American, but what's he from? Like, what's his descent?
His heritage.
Oh, he's Greek.
Oh, okay.
Greek descent.
Greek descent.
I'm sorry. He's got that complexion about him. He's got a darker complexion.
Yeah.
You just don't.
He could play him.
He could do Marcus Phoenix. Did you see the photos of The Witcher coming out? I mean, I'm not much of a fan of the game, but Henry Cavill, is that?
Cavill.
Oh, I almost said Harry. I've seen the photos of it. It looks pretty fantastic. I might check it out. Netflix series coming out.
Is that it's a episode series?
Episodic. I'm certain. Pretty certain. I might be wrong.
Has he got long hair?
White
it
white long hair.
Wow, I would not have
Let me
pictured
look it up.
him.
Let me look him up.
Would not have pictured him as that.
Henry Cavill. It's going to be in the most recent news here.
All right, I'm bad with names.
Superman.
What about?
Oh,
him?
okay.
Oh, you didn't know who that was.
Yeah. Well, Josh was like, like when we were starting American History X, all the names of the characters, and I was like, well, I know who
Okay.
Edward Norton is, and he was saying all these other ones.
Beverly
Like,
D'Angelo.
Edward Furlong, all this other stuff. Oh, he looks pretty good.
Yeah, he looks like a good video game character.
Yeah. And he was saying this, and he was like, I was like, remind me who that is, and he gave me the look of really. I'm like, 17
She got
years.
mad at me.
17 years. I don't know anybody.
Did you know? Do you know who Beverly D'Angelo is?
Nope.
I do know who that is. That's the sister, right? From
No.
The
Well,
mom?
It was the mom, but
Oh yeah. Vacation.
all the vacations. Yeah.
Yeah, which was weird role for her in American
Very
History
serious.
X.
Yeah.
Let's move on from there, guys. Let's talk about some deodorant here. I want to.
So
Yeah, I wanna know about
there's
deodorant.
a story came out last week that there's a trend among young people, meaning late teens, early 20s, that they are not wearing deodorant. They prefer
They prefer to be stanky?
their own scent. And when they talk about being attracted to other people, they are attracted to the natural scent versus the processed, I
Well,
guess you could say.
no, that makes sense because you're putting chemicals on your body. You don't know what they're made out of.
No,
especially
but
Well-
everybody
deodorant
has
sticks.
pheromones. You have natural pheromones, and then your pheromones will mix with the perfume and mix with this, and then creates a you scent that's
Sure.
more
You-
a you. But if you mix the wrong scent with you kind of can put off some people or attract the people you don't want. I mean, there's pheromone sprays and stuff that are scentless that are supposed to like excel your enhance. Thank you. Enhance your pheromones so people smell your odor more. But I mean, I don't care either way, but I think at least use a scentless deodorant. I mean, BO is nasty.
Here, that's what I think though, is that they are saying they prefer whatever smell you produce.
Okay.
Naturally,
so they're saying like even your sweat smells.
Yes, like whatever your body produces naturally, I'm attracted to that. You know, instead of what some company whipped up that you threw on under your arms or whatever.
Wow.
I mean, I somewhat agree with that. I've never been a wear lots of perfume, body spray, all this other stuff. I don't even wear deodorant every day.
There's, you know, cologne and perfumes, and then there's stuff to make you not smell.
Yeah. Deodorant.
Exactly.
Yes.
So here's what I do know. Sometimes I'll get so bad, like at the gym, I can smell myself, and it's bad.
I'm the same way. Like if I'm done with a workout, I'm like, I gotta get in the shower.
I'm a sweater. I sweat, and I know that I stink.
You're self-aware. Have you ever had anybody have to
tell you? There's not a lot of people there's a handful of people that are not self-aware, or they are and they don't care.
They don't care. No one's ever said, you need to.
Or maybe they just don't want to because they don't want to make you feel bad.
Well, that's what I mean. Nobody's actually said it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I did, but I wear deodorant every day.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too.
I don't.
Well, you don't necessarily need to.
If
You're already
come
getting
home,
dirty.
I know, but if I come home on a lunch break and I've had a long day already, I will throw on some deodorant to protect me through the rest of the evening. But for the most part, I don't carry deodorant on me. I have one stick that lasts me about 6 or 7 months. And when we go out, like to a club or something, I will put perfume on, like just because. And then if I'm just going someplace nice, like dinner or something, I'll do like a light body spray. But nothing that I get is like trying to hide my scent, I guess.
Yeah.
Or cover me up. Like I'm very like right now I'm not wearing anything.
Well, you just took a shower like an hour ago.
I just took a shower, but I'm probably not going to put deodorant on until I think I need it.
Mm-hmm. That's okay, and as long as you're self-aware of what your scent is and whether or not you need it. Teenagers, they have hormones that are causing pheromone expellation enhanced. Like they have that going on. They have to wear the deodorants and stuff. Kids have to do that.
When I was in 5th grade and we did the talk, and the girls got a baggie and the boys got a baggie. Yeah. My baggie had a pad in it and a little stick sample of deodorant. That's what it had.
I honestly don't remember when I started wearing deodorant.
I can't either. I think it was middle school.
Middle school.
Yeah.
I think I just did it because I just felt like I wanted to smell good.
Yeah, and I think that's what it was, like, because in middle school is like when you're going through puberty, like, I want to smell good, I want to attract a female.
Exactly, yep.
So, like, that's where I think a lot of the companies aim for is, like, or at least if I was a company person, like, that does deodorant and perfumes and whatever, I would aim for that or that age range.
So the idea that, let's take my case because I'm single. The idea that a woman would prefer a natural smell versus a manufactured smell, let's say, I would never take that risk because
unless she says it straight to your face,
right? But if you're just out and about, you know, I would not risk whatever my natural smell may be. Maybe it stinks, maybe it doesn't if I'm not, sweating balls or whatever. Yeah. But I would much prefer taking a chance on smelling good versus smelling natural.
Like whenever we go out to dinner with you, you're always making sure that you're looking good. You believe in first impressions in case you run into anybody.
Correct.
Mean, I've seen you do it.
I mean, Josh, I've been with you for 17 years, and I mean, I know that you wear cologne. I know that you wear not often, but I know that you wear body spray and deodorant. And one of the compliments that you get all the time, if you get a hug from somebody or someone standing next to you, is like, "Wow, you smell good."
I've gotten that too, but not from contact. It's just been close proximity.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, hey, whatever. I don't care either way. I'm on both sides. Sometimes you just want to smell good, so you cover yourself up, and other times you just, as long as you're self-aware of your stank.
Look at it the opposite way too. Let's say you're within close proximity of somebody, and let's say you are wearing something, so you smell fine, and it does nothing for them. So okay, but would you rather smell natural and it's a complete like, oh gross, I gotta get away from this guy, kind of thing, you know?
Right.
That's the risk that I take.
I guess.
I would much rather, even if it does nothing for them, smell.
If I was
good.
single, I'm going to cover up is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
I don't care. Like, I don't think I stink. I don't think I've ever had that issue. I did have a really nasty foot fungus in cross country back in like the 7th grade, but that was about it. And I knew that stunk because my mom bought me foot powder for my running shoes.
Oh.
And I had to hide it in my book bag.
Athlete's foot.
Yes, I got athlete's foot. It was bad, but that's what you get for running in the
Every
rain.
athlete has gotten athlete's
It was so
foot.
embarrassing as a 7th grader, though.
Oh, I know.
Like, my feet stunk. Like, I had to make sure if I was stretching, I was out here stretching, like, away from everyone.
Honestly, I mean, I don't know if my feet stink, but my feet do sweat. I do wear like ventilated shoes.
What are you doing?
I'm smelling my foot.
I do wear ventilated shoes, and I have spray. Like if I'm in my shoes for 9 hours a day and I'm on my feet all day, I spray the shit in my shoes because
Spray the shit in my shoes.
it's not. I don't want stinky feet.
No. I'll be honest. I've only had athlete's foot once, and
I've only had it once.
never.
That's
again.
enough.
Yep. Once you experience it, you
Yes,
try to
but
prevent it.
Athlete's foot is not even like a sign of you're a dirt ball.
No, it's not, because I showered all the time after I was done running. It was really, I got it from my shoes.
Yeah.
I was wearing hiking boots for as a
Which has
fashion trend.
Which has no
insulation, no insulation, ventilation.
Yeah.
He said it.
Insulation, ventilation.
Yeah, because I was gothic in high school. I had to be that guy that wore the black boots and whatever. Not, and I got athlete's foot off of that. That was disgusting.
Okay, so we all agree we like to cover up.
Yep, cover it up, kids. What do you want to move on to?
Up. I don't know. What do you want to? You guys
Let me
pick.
talk about Disney Plus real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, Disney Plus.
So I saw this video that I think GameSpot made of the top movies on Disney Plus from day one.
Okay.
And one that really stood out, and I don't think I had seen this announced yet, was a Goofy movie. Which
Really?
I love.
That's a lot of people's favorite movies. Like, I'm very
love
surprised how many people love that film.
It's just great. I don't know if it's great, but I really like it.
We watched it recently, and I will have to say that it doesn't. I can't say it's timeless. Some of it's a little cheesy.
Yeah,
It is a little
like
cheesy,
The Leaning
like
Tower. That
cheese
was
up.
Pauly Shore.
I can't roll my
Yuck.
eyes any. Oh, shut up.
I honestly haven't watched it in years, so I'll have to see if it holds up. But
It does. We watched it recently.
you just said it did.
I said.
What?
I can have an opinion on this. I said it didn't really hold up that well.
For you. It did.
Oh, you did? Oh, I must have blanked out right there. Sorry.
You
That must
were
have been I
texting.
was texting.
Yeah, you're messaging. It's okay. Not a big deal.
No.
We can have
I
separate
think,
opinions.
I think it holds up just fine, especially when Bigfoot comes out and he wears the underwear. He pulls it head out of the box in his underwear. Whitey tidies are over his head. He goes through the little pee hole, goes boop, and he goes.
I wasn't done.
That's okay.
I was
Sorry, I
Go
love
ahead.
that movie.
what it dawned on me, if Disney approaches this, is they just figured out, and I'm kind of surprised it took them this long to figure it out. They figured out how to monetize their vault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've done this vault for years, as long as you could get Disney movies on home video,
Mm-hmm.
which would go back to the beginnings of VHS.
Yeah.
It was a marketing strategy of put X amount of movies out, available on to buy, home video or whatever.
Yep.
And then take them off the shelf, put them so you can't find them unless it's a used copy, bring out the next batch, and just cycle over and over and over.
Yeah.
Well, now they weren't making any money on stuff that was in the vault.
Mm-hmm.
So now, instead of putting everything out on disc, we'll put some stuff out on disc. That keeps our costs low as far as physical media.
Yeah.
But now we have the streaming app where you can watch maybe the stuff that's in the vault. We don't really know yet. But if they do make that they just, instead of having stuff sitting there just waiting to make money in 5 years, bam, you know, every month you get $7 from anybody who wants to have it.
What do you expect from Disney?
No, I think it's I've been very tough on Disney and their strategy. I think this is brilliant.
Oh, okay.
And maybe I don't know if that's how they are approaching it, but it makes sense to me. And that doesn't mean anything, but as far as I'm no expert by any means, but it's a very smart way of making a lot of money that they wouldn't, without a streaming service, they wouldn't make.
Yep.
Also makes me wonder, how long did it take for the idea of having their streaming service to when it actually comes out in November?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because streaming services are not new.
Nope.
Yeah. I was looking to see if I could find a list of the movies. I can't find it.
There should be one because GameSpot.
GameSpot?
Yeah.
GameSpot? Okay. I was just going to see what all was on it.
The ones they listed were
I found
Aladdin and Lion King.
Yeah, I saw that.
Goofy movie.
Yep. I found it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, they're going to do practically everything that's their animated.
I can't wait to watch Sword in the Stone.
It's been a while since I watched Sword in the Stone.
And
I
haven't watched Peter Pan
I've
in
never seen Sword in the Stone.
years.
That used to be like my favorite movie, by the way.
Peter Pan?
Peter Pan.
Yeah, me too.
Like and it wasn't really just the cartoon; it was more the story.
Mhm.
Like just all things Peter Pan. I really liked. We used to have like the Disney store back in the mall, and there was this one time I even have like this flash of memory still in my head where I walked in there and there was a vial of pixie dust, so it was just glitter. And I was just like, oh my gosh, they're selling pixie dust, and I was just such a believer in that, like in fairies and like all the other stuff. Like I really wanted some pixie dust, and we went back there and I went to go show my mom it, and it was gone, and it was like the saddest, heartbreaking thing ever.
It was glitter.
I didn't know that when I was little.
She probably could have made some for you.
The Disney store was like our favorite store. Mom, can we go to the Disney store? No. Mom, can we go to the Disney store?
I don't think Peter Pan's been released on Blu-ray yet.
I couldn't say.
I don't know. I'd have to ask my mom. She'll know.
I'm actually excited about the TV series Forky Asks a Question. That looks really interesting. The Simpsons is going to be on there. They're going to have Disney Channel shows on there. It looks like National Geographic's going to be on there, and a lot of films.
It'd be great if they, although I own digitally two of my favorite Disney Channel original movies.
Which ones?
Brink and Under Wraps.
I've heard of Under Wraps.
Under Wraps is about the mummy that wakes up and the kids find him, played by Bill Fagerbach. Was this?
What'd you call me?
do you remember the show Coach?
Yes.
He was the big tall blonde on that show.
Okay.
He's actually in the movie too as a person, but anyway.
Okay.
It has been released
On Blu-ray?
Yes.
I want proof. Actually, now that she says that,
my sister just said Mom has it.
I think I remember. I think it was before the way they're doing it now with the DVD and the Blu-ray combos.
Combo pack, yeah.
I believe. Never mind.
What
okay.
does what does the in Sword in the Stone? Where does he get blown to?
What? Oh, Bermuda.
Bermuda.
Merlin, you're back from Bermuda? Yes, back from Bermuda.
I've never seen this movie.
You've never seen Sword in the Stone?
It's
Oh,
great.
maybe that's
Nope.
next week's movie.
It's not out
That's
yet.
my choice.
Fine, whatever. Well, my mom has the original at her house.
Okay.
I can go and pick it up.
She probably has it on DVD.
Have you seen Interview with a Vampire before?
No.
No?
That's
okay.
a good one.
That's another good
That's
one.
a good one.
I went to my mom's house because somebody at work hadn't seen it and they wanted to see it, so I brought them on VHS.
I don't know about getting Disney Plus. I kind of want to, but
I'm at least gonna get it. I hope they do a trial, but I'll try it out for a month anyway.
we're gonna get rid of our Netflix probably soon here.
You know who's not getting it? My mom.
No, she doesn't need it.
Well,
No.
she has the thing.
She has
Why
everything.
would
She has like her whole
Although
library.
she won't get some of the stuff that's exclusive to the app.
I'd have to ask. I need to ask her what her opinion is on it, whether or not she'd get that or not.
Yeah. All right, let's move
well,
on from that.
Hold on.
Oh,
she
sorry.
doesn't buy the movies for herself per se at this point, does
Yes, she does.
Oh.
She always pops. You go into mom's house, and chances are she's either watching like an X-Men movie or a really old action movie or a vampire movie, or she's watching a Disney movie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. She's very big in the.
She
the
likes
vampires
on her days off and she's done cleaning. She is watching movies.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Can we talk about our slang?
Yeah.
Now, you wanted to hold off on this. Is there something that you wanted to touch on that first, or is it you just want to dive into what our slang is?
I don't even remember why I wanted to hold off.
I don't either. That's okay.
Okay, so we're not holding off.
So, how far back do you want me to go? Because I'm on 1980.
Well, probably the mid 80s.
Mid 80s.
Y'all weren't even alive in the.
So
mid-80s.
are we just guessing what?
Why would you guess?
Alex, your mom has her own Disney Plus store. That's very true.
So I'm gonna start at 1980. Actually, I mean we're gonna go through. This can be quick stuff here.
Are we supposed to guess what it is?
Do you guys want to guess what it means?
I do. I think we can make it like a game, like I do with my millennial slang with you guys. Like, see if we can guess what these slang words mean.
Okay, I'm gonna start at 84. Major.
Major.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know. That's like, can you use it in a sentence?
That's major awesome.
Okay.
Oh, is it the thing like on How I Met Your Mother where they go major whatever?
That's not what it means.
Oh no.
But is it that context?
In a sense, not by a military standpoint.
Well, I don't really know where to go.
I don't know.
It is describing people and things with kind of enthusiasm. Normally said by a teenager.
Well, yeah, that's
Does
what
it
we're
have
going
a
for.
sentence?
No.
Major.
I'm
Like,
confused on
that's
the
major
context.
pretty or that's major.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like
An
a
enthusiasm.
yeah.
It's like it's like
Like
a
we say
Adjective.
like
very.
that's sick, man. Like that's major.
Okay.
Radness.
Okay.
Well, radness
Cool.
is like something that's cool.
Yeah,
Like,
so
instead
something
of-
cool.
So it's like they got tired of just saying rad, so they're like radness.
That came out in 85. That was
I
the
was-
You know,
that
we're
was the most
talking
popular.
about like at
I
least
was
my
a-
mom and dad.
I
Or
was an infant.
Yep. You were born in 85, right? Yeah. Stud muffin.
Well, that's
stud muffin is a man, and he's a stud, and you call him your stud muffin, like he's your beau.
Handsome man.
Yeah.
Couch surfing.
I don't know.
channel. It's couch surfing.
Oh, couch surfing. You're sitting
It's
there
like
watching
sitting
TV, going
there-
click, 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 click,
it's
click,
the
click.
same thing as channel
Just
surfing.
like watching
Yeah.
TV all day.
Yep.
F-bomb.
That's a given. We all know what an F bomb is. We still use F bomb.
We do. That came out in 88 was the most popular time for that. Trash talk came out in 89.
Okay, we don't need to talk about
Trash talk is talking shit.
yeah.
Pretty much.
That's what
See,
it
this
is.
is why we're
See,
like
look, that's
our
why
slang.
We see our slang and our parents' slang. That was easy. What the F is lit?
It's not. It's easy because we know it and used it. It may
I
not
guess.
be easy to young people.
I'm gonna find one that you.
It makes sense though, to even an
Yes.
average person.
It's a little bit less transparent.
Yes.
Mhm. I'm gonna
It's
try.
pretty straightforward.
I'm going back and seeing if there's okay, Motorhead.
Well, that
Motorhead,
was-
is that like a car guy?
That was a song.
What
Is it-
song?
It's a band, isn't it?
It's a band.
Or a
It
band.
was a band.
Remy,
Yeah, he
is
did.
that his name?
He passed away last year.
It was.
2 years
They
ago.
did Triple H's song, right?
Yeah, but that's not the
Motorhead, I'm gonna say, is a car guy.
I'm gonna say it's a motorcycle person.
motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
That's close.
And that came out in 74. I'm going back a little farther because we can guess all of our stuff.
All
Carbo.
What
Car-
is it?
Carbo.
Carbo.
Like
I think carbohydrates first. Spell it.
CARBO.
Is it one word? Like
It's
no-
one word.
a cigarette.
So you said carbohydrates. You said cigarette.
Yeah.
Brett is right.
Wow.
Reference
Oh.
to a carb.
Okay.
I would just call it a carb.
I don't.
Carbo.
Your guess is good as
Gotta
mine.
get my carbo on.
Deadheads.
Somebody that's high all
I've
the
heard
time
of this before.
on drugs.
Your dad probably knows all these.
This,
Yeah, but
this
there's
is
like
71.
there's like a 20-second thing. My dad said Lemmy. I don't know what Lemmy is.
That's
Lemmy.
the
Oh,
Motorhead.
I said
Motorhead.
Remy. It's
Oh.
Lemmy.
Lemmy.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Deadhead.
Deadhead. I've
Deadhead.
heard
I'm
that
gonna say
before.
somebody that's high. That's or like not unconscious, but you know,
I would
drugged
say.
up.
Inebriated.
inebriated. Yeah.
I would say kind of a What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what word I'm looking for. He's no purpose in life. They're kind of slackers.
Oh, there you go,
okay.
slacker. There
Slacker.
you go.
All right.
Alex was right.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm going back. Out of sight. This is 69.
Out of sight?
Mhm.
So, meaning like on the down low?
Right.
Yeah, I'll go along with that.
You're both wrong.
Oh.
Means beyond belief.
Okay.
Bippy.
Oh,
Like
I've heard of this too.
Bippy.
bippity boppity boo?
No. Bippy.
Yeah, bippity boppity.
No,
Or
there's no bippity.
That's bippity. Bip.
I honestly don't know.
I have
that.
no
I don't
idea.
have any idea where to go with this one.
I'll use it in a sentence. Yo, her bippy's great.
Her tits?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a body part.
It's a rear end.
Oh, okay. Bippy is a booty? Really?
Yep. Reference to a rear end, which came from Laugh In, which must have been a show.
It was a show, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, bippy.
What's the only president to ever appear on Laugh-In?
I've never heard of this show.
I have no
The
idea.
President?
Reagan?
Nope.
Oh.
Is it Reagan? I thought it was Nixon.
You can't ask a question you don't know the answer to.
You know, you know why I know that question? Do
How?
you remember the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? The
Yes.
first winner of $1 million, that was the question that he won $1 million on.
It's the sun.
It's the sun.
No.
How far away is the sun from the
No.
Earth?
No.
Oh,
I don't. I could be wrong.
Whoa.
I could compared to Brad, like comparing myself to Brad. I could be wrong. I'll admit it.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yes, I could be wrong.
Alex could be wrong. Freak flag.
Somebody that's creepy. Freak
Freak
flag.
flag?
Someone that's creepy. Like you're a freak. And they got all the freak.
This isn't really giving me a good explanation.
Oh
of
well,
it.
then don't even say it then.
Forget about
Well,
it.
how did I know? Jimi Hendrix introduced this fantastic phrase into culture, giving permission for people to let theirs fly loud and proud. I'm gonna guess it's mainly just
it's
their
like,
flag.
Yeah, so freak flag. That's kind of like Hailstorm,
Mm-hmm.
and like she calls her people freaks. Like it's just
a fan.
Yeah, a fan.
All right. Let's do one more here. Let me see if I can find a good one. Dullsville.
Dolesville.
Mm-hmm.
Like spell it.
Dullsville.
Oh, it's just the way of saying that something is very dull. Like we got
Like-
a weekend in Dullsville. I mean, it's
Yeah,
gonna be really
yeah.
boring this weekend.
Man, that's easy.
Okay.
You know where I heard that from?
What?
Where?
Remember the movie Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They're returning from the store from picking up the stuff that Wayne gives them money for, and they're like, "You think your dad will let us roast those molecules?" And I think they said that that's lame or something. He's like, "I'm trying to work with what we got."
Mm-hmm.
And then the girl's like, "What we got is a weekend in Dullsville."
Huh. So glad you remember those lines too, because I don't. 'Kay.
Brett needs to be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
No, he needs to be on Jeopardy.
Jeopardy.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like a lot of everything. You guys are gonna get all of these. Like, oh, here's one. Okay.
What?
Boffo.
Boffo?
Boffo.
Is it an acronym?
No.
Oh, they didn't use acronyms back then.
Guess not. I don't know. I mean,
This came out in 1934.
totally
Oh,
made up
jeez.
word.
Boffo? No idea.
It means to deliver a big laugh.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of this stuff
Would've never got that in a million
doesn't
years.
stick around. You know, it doesn't stay in. Trendy words do not stay trendy forever, folks.
It
So
does not
No, so
stand the test of
Slay
time.
and Lit's gonna.
Slay and Lit's not gonna stay forever.
I don't know. I kind of like Lit.
Well, you kind of use it, you know, knowing that it's a millennial slang term.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's move on from that, guys. Can we talk about the Super Cruise real
Yeah,
quick before we get
so
out of here?
There was a
Unless there's something else you guys wanna
advertisement
go to.
for a brand new Cadillac, and it had something called Super Cruise.
Okay.
So basically, on the steering wheel, the top part of the steering wheel has what appeared to me to be like an LCD screen, and then it had like a green sensor in it.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, they were saying that Super Cruise allows you to hands-free drive, but it's got to be on certain highways. Like, it has to be a
Right.
designated highway. And I'm
Okay.
guessing that it's
I-80.
low traveled highways.
Well, I mean, that's a high travel. Well, not high travel, but moderate travel highway, depending on where you're at. But it's a straight
Sure.
highway. It's not a curvy one. Like
Well,
90.
there's an actual find a Super Cruise freeway near you.
Yeah.
What is 80?
Yeah, 80's on there.
Yep.
So
Told you.
what
Yep.
this says to me is that
Actually, a lot more than I thought. Like, look at that map.
it's a step closer to automatic auto driving cars or whatever you want to call them.
It runs downtown Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know about
I
that.
don't know about that.
I don't know about that at
Nope.
all. Well, Alex and I didn't really ever get to talk about our self-driving experience, kind of, with our car rental over Memorial Day weekend. When we turned on our lane assist, the steering wheel
will.
would keep it in the
but,
lane.
But if you have your hands off the steering wheel, it knows that your hands are off the steering wheel.
After,
and it will.
after so
And it was
long.
like after 60 seconds.
I don't like that because I think that
Lazy.
gives you less control.
Mhm. Well, I wouldn't say
No, you still have full control over it, but it'll like if you are going over into the lane like over off to the left or right, like it'll automatically go boop 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 boop, boop and then you'll see the steering wheel just kind of shift a tiny bit.
Yep.
Like it's not something like nudge you back over, but you can. The
You
first
can
time I
feel
had
it.
it on, I didn't realize
What
I
if
had it
you
on.
Resist.
What? Oh, it's not that much of a pull.
I tried. It doesn't like turn you back. Like I actually, when we were driving, we didn't have anybody around. I tried to go off the road to see what it would do, and it just goes beep 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 beep, and like and you can just feel a little bit of a tug to get yourself to go back.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I'm surprised that you haven't experienced, like, you don't have any like that in your new vehicle.
No, my newest car is still 9 years old.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
It's pretty cool though, all this new like security safety stuff that they have on all these cars. So if we were going like so many miles an hour and something jumps out in front of me, like it will stop the car. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think that lane assist and drive assist is okay, but when you get to the point where you're doing self-driving vehicles, I think that's going to turn people stupid with their driving experience.
well, it makes you less defensive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, it's not making you less defensive per se. It's taking the defensive away from you, and your car is doing the defensive part for you. And
Okay.
You
Yeah.
just hope it's smart.
what's interesting about that is I started driving with my dad when I was 14 years old.
Okay.
Because just on country roads,
I was
it's like,
14.
I will teach you to drive. That way, when you go to driver's training, you'll be
Mhm.
that much farther ahead. You'll
Right.
at least have some experience behind the wheel.
I got my license at 18. I was 18.
I love that you just laughed at that.
I mean,
And by the way, I was 18 and I was only a few months from graduation.
did anybody
Like you knew me probably right after I got my license.
did anybody teach you how to drive?
Maybe.
My dad taught me a little bit. My mom
did.
taught me a little bit when I was like 16, but it was like there was no reason for me to have a license because
Except that eventually you're gonna need to drive
I know,
yourself
but like there
somewhere.
was just no reason for me to because my mom had her own vehicle, my dad had his, and there was just no reason.
You didn't want to.
I also had a lot of friends that had
That was
cars
just,
and they picked me up.
that was the rite of passage at my school. Is once you
I
got your
didn't-
license, you just skyrocketed.
It just
Same with
wasn't a
ours.
thing. And then by the time I was 18, I'm like, oh, I need to go to college and drive myself. Like, I need to get my license. So I'm like, I wanted it. I didn't get it. I
And
don't think any
that's-
of us got our license till we were 18.
That's what at least all my friends talked about in our freshman year is when you get your license. When do you get your license? And if you were ahead of somebody, it was that much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who taught you how to drive?
I actually didn't need anybody to teach me.
Oh, actually, you taught me how
Yeah,
to
I was
drive.
gonna wait for you to actually chime in on that. I looked over at you like,
Oh, and I was like, my
I
mom
saw
taught me
ya.
a little bit. My dad taught me a little bit. Like, my dad taught me how to park. Like,
I-
we went into Snyder's parking
Yeah.
lot, and he taught me how to park his van, which was horrible to try to drive. And then when we were in South Dakota, out in the middle of nowhere, Josh actually taught me how to drive.
in my car.
Yeah, with his car.
I actually impressed the driving instructor because I did perfect parallel parking, perfect driving, perfect speed. I just caught on so quickly, didn't even phase me. Like nothing. I didn't need to be taught. I've watched enough people. I've concentrated enough on the road, and I understand how it went.
And then what happened after you got your license?
That was not. We're not talking about that.
I wrecked a car.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Yeah. Alex wrecked our car. We're still driving it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was going
Yeah.
into a story with this.
Go ahead.
I started driving when I was 14 with my dad, and I remember one time that a dog came out of nowhere, but not into the road, as if to chase us. So I jerked the wheel to the left, which could have been really bad because if there was a car incoming, that's bad. And it was just a oh shit reaction, you
Right.
know?
You have those.
And my dad started screaming at me. I'm like, I'm sorry, he scared me. What do you want me to do? I'm 14 years old driving this truck,
Oh my gosh.
and I'm just I always remember that because I'm like, he basically went into you have to drive defensive. You have to be always looking in your peripherals at what could come out of nowhere.
Why do you think I don't like driving at night? Josh is like, why don't you like driving at night? I'm like, because in the daytime, I can see everything.
I love driving at night.
I guess it's not so much you need to be watching for that stuff, but as soon as it enters your peripheral, you need to be ready to react to it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
especially in a town like Fort Wayne when you have motorcycles.
Yep.
Well, anywhere has motorcycles, but
Yeah, but we have a lot.
there's
like,
a
there's a
lot
lot of traffic.
and people do not watch out for motorcycles.
They don't.
I
Oh,
do.
myself included. I've actually almost hit one probably like last year. Like I was pulling out of Alex's grandmother's, and there was a motorcyclist coming on
That is a very hard area to find, like, because they come
to spot him. Yeah.
like zooming out over.
There's
where
hills
they,
everywhere.
There's hills and like I would hope it if
He,
you're
he flipped off.
if you if you drive a motorcycle, just be aware that if you're driving in through a very crowded tree area and there's multiple places where people can pull out, don't go 100 miles
Well,
an hour.
I'm glad you're saying
Mhm.
that because I've made myself over the years, or I've trained myself. If you got a car right off the road, like in a driveway or something, especially if it's the front is facing away from the road,
Mm-hmm.
I always watch them because sure enough, they're gonna back out.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not paying attention, or they might not be, or they might be waiting. But that's always like a recipe for someone who's gonna back right out in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep. That's why I don't like driveways by the main roads like Maple
Nope.
Crest up there. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Alex and I were driving on Stellhorn, and we spotted a house for sale, and she's like, "Oh, we should check that out." I was like, "It's on Stellhorn."
Well, can you
though."
imagine the houses on Washington Center?
Good
No.
God.
No.
Especially now with it under
the
construction,
where it's down to one lane
It's
each way.
terrible.
So bad.
Would you hate living there? I would hate it.
I have to avoid. I'm on that end of town for work all
Yeah.
the time, so I have to take the freeway. Luckily, the freeway construction's done.
It's done, yeah.
I'm
Well,
so
there's
happy
a
about that.
very small patch right by the exit 309,
Okay.
but the rest of it is open.
Yeah.
Well, on the northbound, it's open.
Right. I'm pretty pleased with that. You guys have
That
anything
was
else
very
you want to?
local.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
it
was.
was.
That's okay. We can talk local stuff. It's not a big deal. We have local fans too. What do you guys want to talk about anything else before we get out of here?
Well, speaking of driving, we can talk about the Illinois driving law.
Yeah, that's good. It's good transition into one more topic here.
So this was posted on June 28th, so very recently. Using an electronic device while driving, even if you're just holding it, it now becomes a moving violation in Illinois
Should
on
be.
July 1st. So today.
I like that. I
Should
like
be.
that.
So even if you're just holding it,
Well, unfortunately, I have to hold my phone when I'm changing songs. I just got a new a Bluetooth FM transmitter in my car, and it works beautifully.
What you should do.
so I wanted to go off of this real quick.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
No, what'd you say, Brett?
Well, I was saying, instead of holding your phone to change the songs, what I ended up doing, because I didn't like doing that, was I got a vent holder
Oh,
and just pop it right up there.
Yeah.
So here I am driving, and it's like the new display to my radio, basically.
I've had a few.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Anyway, so if you rack up 3 offenses in 1 year, your license is gone.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's-
Well, okay. Now,
That's pretty strict.
Yeah, it is, but that's Illinois. It's one of the highest traffic, like.
Yeah.
Oh, I
it's
mean,
not uncommon
I
to
mean,
see
it's
an
just
accident
Chicago,
either.
but like, yeah, and it's not uncommon. But who knows how many of those accidents are electronic related?
Right. Exactly.
Well,
Under the old law, a warning ticket was issued for the first offense, and a subsequent ticket issued were non-moving violations.
depending on the year of the vehicle, there's really no reason to hold your phone anymore,
no.
because most late model within the last, let's say 3 to 5 years, most cars have Bluetooth,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
where especially if you're changing songs. So like in the Mustang, I can do it on my screen, but in the Fusion, I cannot. I have to use my phone.
Okay.
Because in my Fusion, I still use an aux cable.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
the
Mustang
I'd rather have an
has-
aux.
The Mustang has Bluetooth,
Mhm.
and it's very responsive. So, I mean, most of the time, I just keep my phone in my pocket.
Mhm.
The other thing is the ban is not limited to cell phones. It includes any electronic communication device, including handheld personal digital assistant, tablet, laptop, computers, pretty much anything that you are holding that is
Well,
electronic.
Who's gonna hold a laptop computer? in
Well,
their
they
car?
had to do that for zero tolerance
Oh,
purposes.
Zero
yeah.
tolerance.
Okay, I get it. All right.
They're like, you have your laptop on a lap. Well, the law only covers cell phones. You're doing Skype because some cars now have their own Wi-Fi.
They do. That's odd. Yeah. Alex and I are actually kind of mad. We went through all of our data inside of. Well, I went through all of our data inside of a few days. It was my fault.
Speaking of,
If you use or manipulate your phone in any reason or which way, pretty much it says, in any way possible while operating a motor vehicle, you are running the risk of the violation.
sure, I mean, makes sense.
So pretty much like you saying
Also
that
for
you,
zero
I was
tolerance.
just changing the song on my phone over here. They can say,
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's also for zero tolerance policies. I mean, if you're interacting with your phone in any way, violation.
It even talks about GPS. It says you can use it as a GPS for directions as long as you don't touch it while you're driving.
Vent mount or any of those kinds of mounts.
Dashboard mount,
Yeah.
Window mount. Did you know in some states it's actually illegal to have anything on your windshield?
Windshield.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I believe
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Because I see
Minnesota.
some people will mount it on the left side
Mm-hmm.
because
I like
think
that.
it's easier to see.
Mm-hmm. The driver needs to see it. No one else does.
And some factory navigation, like it's too far away from your main view.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So I'd rather use my phone where it's right up by the steering wheel and I can see mostly out of my peripheral vision.
Right.
Last thing, it's also illegal in Illinois for anyone to use a cell phone, even hands-free, in a school zone, construction zone, or within 500 feet of an emergency scene, or if you are under the age of 18.
I get that too.
I do remember the construction zone when you and I were always talking to each other on the phone. We're like, oh, gotta
Gotta
phone.
go- gotta
We're in
go
the construction zone.
That's
Yeah.
it. So you can't even do hands free.
Nope.
Wow.
Nothing. Have to pay close attention.
Now, here's the thing, though. How are they going to enforce in knowing that?
Yeah.
This is what they're doing is a no tolerance policy.
Yes,
are they
but
gonna spy
how are they
it?
going to spy a violation of that? Especially if you have built-in Bluetooth in the speaker. You could
Yeah.
just be talking in your car.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Right.
Maybe you're talking to yourself. Maybe you're singing.
I
They
sing all
can
the
still
time.
pull you over for suspicion, just like any
They have to have
suspicion.
probable cause.
Yeah, suspicion, probable cause. I thought you were talking on your cell phone, or I thought just whatever.
There's
I
no
think
way to
they'll reach a
enforce
little
that,
Or
though.
hey, you're at a stoplight and you don't realize there's a cop next to you, and you're sitting there chatting. It's hands free, but he sees you go up to touch something. Boom, there's a citation.
That one to me sounds like, yes, it's a law, but they may not strictly enforce it because it would be too hard to enforce.
I
Or
agree.
too hard to
So-
prove that you were talking hands-free.
I agree.
In 2017, a nationwide number came out that 3,166 people were killed because of this.
Because of using cell phones
Using
while
some
driving.
type of an electronic device
I
while
believe that.
driving, or were killed by a person using an electronic device.
I
Mhm.
believe it.
That's 3,200 people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people to die just because. Oh, how did he die? Well, he was texting and driving, or he was calling someone and driving, or using electronic device.
Yep.
And we were just watching, like, there's Twitch fails all the time from the Twitch channel. So we watch, like, when people are getting banned and stuff. There are so many people that stream while they're driving. And I'm like, and then there's been a handful of people where they've gotten into accidents. Like, there's one
Not
person that
due
rolled
to
their
that.
car.
Not due to Twitch, though.
But
Just on
there
their
was one
screen.
person that they get banned if they catch you driving and streaming.
No.
That's what I thought they came out
No,
and
no,
said.
no. It's if you're doing. Is it that?
Yeah, because you have to pay attention to the chat, and it takes your there's one of the Twitch streamers that actually got banned because he rolled his car, and he came out and he said, you know what, my bad, I accept the responsibilities of all this, I know this was bad, and I want to bring it out, just like the no text and drive, don't stream and drive. Like, It's a thing now.
I believe you have to actually make that.
Yes,
a thing.
I know, but why do you think? I mean, it was stupid at first to be like, oh my gosh, texting and driving. Why are we making that a thing? Well, it's because it's so easy to hear your phone go off and all these people that are glued to their cell phone.
But if you're saying, why would it be okay to stream and drive but not text and drive?
That's true.
People don't have common sense. It's like driving drunk or under the influence or anything else that takes your focus away from the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's all like, well, wouldn't you think that this would be a stupid thing? Well, you don't. Some people just don't think about it until something bad happens.
Right.
There you go. That's my thing.
Let's get out of here.
yeah. I think it's time we do. I'm gonna do some quick little plugs here, and then Alex, you also need to talk about your Twitch real quick first.
Yes, if you would like to watch me game, chat with me while I'm gaming, or just lurk. My Twitch handle is twitch.tv/cute_kitty, KUTE_KITTI. I stream on Sunday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. This Saturday, I will not be streaming because we will be in Sandusky riding roller coasters.
Yes, we're going to go to Cedar
Sweating our
Point.
balls.
Probably.
Actually, I checked the weather. It's only the high is 82.
That's okay.
That's perfect.
That's okay.
But there is a
Perfect.
chance for thunderstorms.
That's okay.
Yeah, but there's always a chance
It'll
whenever
probably
you go.
change.
Yeah.
Yep. We played Gears of War on Friday. We talked about that at the beginning of the podcast. Alex and I had a rough weekend with our internet on Saturday. Sunday was a little sloppy and touchy. It was a little rough to get through, but we still had a good
Kept
stream
having
on Sunday.
brownouts. I was getting raided.
That was on Saturday. Yep. But on Sunday, you had a good stream. Call of Duty
did.
stream. It was
I
really
did.
fun. I'm going to start streaming in 2 weeks. I will be starting up a stream channel. You can follow me if you want to. It is Mr. L on Twitch. MISTERL. That's all you have to look up. Very
You're gonna
easy.
do it there.
Yep. I will be Twitch streaming on Wednesday night at 5:40, probably 5:30.
Y'all are gonna alternate.
Yeah, he's going to stream when I'm not home.
What are you gonna play? Don't say Rocket League.
Well,
He's going to play
don't
Rocket
say
League.
it.
Yes.
That's not my first thing. No, but I will be on there.
He's going to do side scrollers.
I'll be doing a lot of retro gaming, mainly going through a lot of the Wii channel or Wii stuff that I've got, and then I'll be doing other. I was thinking about doing a campaign of some sort or some kind of, I don't know, maybe a suggestion would be great.
I thought you were
Oh,
just
are you
going to
looking
start
for
off
me?
with like Donkey Kong, I think is what
You
you're
know
going
what?
to do.
You should play one of the Splinter Cells.
I don't see why I shouldn't. As long as there's,
Cool.
I would love to.
You
I'd
know
love to.
the and I have them. All the Splinter Cells are now backwards compatible on the Xbox One.
Oh well, I can use this Xbox, and that's the
Exactly.
one that has it.
So, I would suggest going with Chaos Theory, because
Yeah.
it's the third entry and it's regarded as the best
Okay.
out of all of them.
And that one's for Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not. I'm not going to start with that, but it will be on my list. I don't plan on.
Well, I'm gonna bug you until it is on your list.
So I'll be doing Wednesday night at 5:30 until about 8 around then, and then Saturday and Sunday I'll be doing in the mornings around 9. So yeah,
You gonna get up that early?
I already.
He
do.
already gets up that early.
Oh, you're the one who stays in bed all day.
Yes.
Sundays is my
Sleep in.
my sleep in day.
Mhm.
I was telling Josh the other day, as kind of like a final note on my thing real quick, is I know I'm old because I can't. I want to sleep in, but as soon as that sun hits my face, like I'm up and I'm like, fuck you, sun. I want to sleep in.
What time is that?
I don't know,
8,
7 or 8.
Yeah, when it shines through our window.
Yeah.
Well, so what time do you get up then?
I get up, like my eyes are open at 9.
But she
time
tries
do
to
you
I
sleep
get
in.
want to
out of-
sleep until 10.
What time do you get out of bed?
I probably get out of bed at like 9:30 or 10.
Because even with my busy, long ass week of work on Saturday and Sunday, I even stayed up late on Friday night
Mhm.
because I took a long nap. I was still up or waking up before 7 o'clock.
I'm not saying
Wow.
like trying to sleep until 10, like I'm getting like 12 hours of sleep. Like I'm up Saturday night streaming and I'm up till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I want to sleep in, but the moment like the sun hits my face, I used to be able to sleep in a room full of light. I can't.
You're going to be glad that you don't need to sleep that many hours.
Yeah, I know.
At some point.
At some
Right.
point in time.
Maybe-
At some point in time, then I'm gonna be begging for
Well,
sleep.
our kitten's already keeping us up.
Oh,
as
that
it is.
too. Yeah,
Namiria's being a pain in the ass, but
Maybe
she's also
just training you.
she's transitioning very well.
she is. Like Layla and her are legit buddies now.
Best friends.
Or, like we can leave them at home No.
Yep, they're good. They're
Yeah.
good. All right, guys, let's plug it in real quick, and then let's get out of here. Thank you very much for joining us on our YouTube channel and our audio apps as well. If you are listening to us, you can find us all over the place. Just seriously Google search us if you want to find our social media apps. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. And you can catch us live on those apps every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our pre-podcast meeting, which is our precast meeting. And what that is we sit down and talk about what we're going to talk about before we actually talk about it. So make sure you chime in on our channels when we're on there every Monday, and you can give us topics and just see what we already have planned for the show. So make sure you do that. Our Facebook is facebook.com/PTOUnlimited. Instagram is PTOUnlimited_podcast, and Twitter is @PTOUnlimited. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I am @Lemke619.
Brett_wings.
Q_kitty.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe on all of our channels. Please do so.
Please
Review
do
us on
so.
iTunes, all
Yes.
that stuff. Thank you very much for what you do.
On a final note, I have to make a correction. I said a couple weeks ago, Walmart has come out with delivery with their OGP.
Yes, you did say that.
It does not require investing in home equipment like I thought it did. Because like Amazon, you have to get locks or some shit.
Yeah.
This, you do not. You just have to be there during your window when they will come to your house. And I did. The first 3 times are free, and even peak time is only $6.95, which beats out all the other major retailers that are doing this service. So most of the time it's $4.95.
I've never done a delivery. I've never done a carry-out thing. We have yet to do any clickless form of anything. And
For
it's just
groceries,
anything.
you do it. No, you have stuff delivered to your house all the time.
Well, okay. Yeah.
For I
For
get
packages.
packages. Yeah.
But groceries are a little more.
I like to actually go out and grocery shop.
No,
yes,
you
No,
don't.
now I do. Not since my diet and stuff.
She has changed,
I've
Brett.
changed.
She
Trust
is a,
me. We
she's a
spent
new
like
person.
an hour and a half at the grocery store, and it was so much fun because I was like, I need this and this and this.
It
Like,
was so much fun.
So now you like to go to the grocery store?
I don't like the cold section, but yeah.
Oh, you did like the cold section? We went there over the
Okay,
weekend.
it was like 95 degrees, and I wanted to go to the cold section.
So now you really have no reason to ever use an OGP service.
Yeah.
She has to pick out her
Until
own
I'm like,
produce.
unless I get like,
Well, I mean-
there's little ones running around, and then I've heard that becomes very handy when you can just pull up with
Yes.
a vehicle and be like, give me my groceries. I've got screaming kids in the back.
I agree with you. Most the stuff you want to pick out, you don't get you get that separately.
Oh, they don't do that?
They'll do it.
Oh.
But if you want to get something you want,
Yeah.
or like you want to be able to test the quality or
Like,
inspect it.
she is the pickiest at bananas I've ever.
Yes, I need to have a certain color.
It's a very difficult
certain-
thing to pick out.
By the way, those bananas that you got the other week, they were super small, and I went through them like crazy.
Sorry. That's why you got
They
those
were
big
like
ones.
this freaking
They
big.
weren't
They're like
that
mini.
small. She over
They
exaggerates.
were really small bananas.
We
I
gotta
like
get outta
big
here.
bananas.
Guys, we gotta go. She likes really big bananas.
Yes.
All right. You guys have anything else you want to say?
Nah.
No.
No. I wanted to say one thing. We kind of dressed up in color for 4th of July.
We did.
We did.
Red, white, and blue.
We did.
I spotted that while we were starting.
And you got a little
Oh,
flag
is that
on
what you wanted?
That's
to,
why I was like,
Oh, that's funny.
4th of July.
Total accident.
Red, white, and blue.
Not
Good
planned.
America.
job. America. Yep. So 4th of July is on Thursday.
Be
Hope you guys
safe.
drive safe and
Don't
enjoy the
blow
fireworks.
yourself up with fireworks and beer.
Don't be stupid.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
Enjoy the holiday. All right, let's go.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Bye.
Bye.